We are indeed honored to have you amidst us, even your busy schedule. I welcome you to this special sitting, and your presence here today exemplifies the deep commitment you hold to the East African community. Thank you. Thank you for positively responding to our invitation. Your Excellency, as you may know, the term of this Assembly, which is the 5th Assembly, commenced on 19th December 2022. On that occasion, we were joined for the very first time by our colleagues from the DRC. Very soon, we shall have members from Somalia. Allow me to thank the summit for the vision of an expanded EAC. With Somalia on board, the bloc now has 8 members. All in all, I have a very good team of MPs of the 5th Assembly, and I'm particularly blessed that the Kenya sent to Iyala a very seasoned, knowledgeable, and hard-working team. They are led by their chair, Honorable Hassan Omar. We have Honorable Zipporah Kerin, Honorable Kanini Kega, Honorable Suleiman Shabal, Honorable Kennedy Kalonzo, Honorable Falada Iman, Honorable Winnie Odinga, Honorable Maina Karobia, and Honorable David Sankrok. Your Excellency, we also have members from different chapters. I would like to invite the chapter from Burundi to stand up for recognition. Then we have chapter from DRC, Congo. Please stand up. Thank you. Then we have Rwanda chapter. Thank you. Then we have South Sudan chapter. They are very tall, eh? Then we have Tanzania. Thank you. Then we have Uganda. Thank you. Your Excellency, our sitting in Kenya is based on our desire to bring the Assembly to the peoples of Kenya. This is provided under Article 55 of the EAC Treaty, that the Assembly should have sittings in the partner states. We are therefore grateful to the leadership of the Republic of Kenya for graciously accepting to host us. Special thanks are also conveyed to the Right Honorable Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the Kenya National Assembly, and the Right Honorable Jeffer Amason Kingi, the Speaker of the Senate of Kenya, for according us very excellent facilities. Your Excellency, our forefathers supported the idea of rotational sittings because it enhances the visibility of the East African community, it increases public awareness, participation of people in the integration process. It also serves as an opportunity to enhance cooperation with the national assemblies of the partner states in line with the requirements of Article 65 of the treaty. It also provides an opportunity for head of states to speak to East Africans of the region for a united and prosperous EAC. As EALA, we shall also tap into your wisdom on integration. Your Excellency, during our sittings, we shall consider 5 bills, 8 committee oversight reports, 9 questions to the Council of Ministers, 3 petitions from the EAC citizens, 6 motions for resolutions of the Assembly, and a report to amend the EALA Rules of Procedure. We shall also engage in joint activities with our brothers and sisters of Parliament of Kenya in order to foster deep cooperation amongst our institutions. We shall also embark on outreach and sensitization of the people of Kenya, particularly through the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, the Parliamentary Youth Caucus, and interface with Kenyan traders on cross-border trade. Members will also grace the International Women's Day celebrations in Embu County, while some will visit the Maasai community in Narok County. Honorable Sankok, you invited us. Your Excellency, before I conclude, allow me in a special way to thank you in person and the Parliament of Kenya, as well as the ministry responsible for EAC affairs, for being the lead partner state in completing her subscription to EAC by 100% and in a timely manner. I also wish to commend you for your able and visionary leadership, which has enhanced the visibility and the development of Kenya. Under your leadership, we note the positive and close working relations you have had with the leadership of both houses of Kenya Parliament and to us, and this explains the progress you have as a country. On matters of peace, security, and unity, you have done very well by championing homegrown solutions to issues that affect our partner states and the region. For example, we all saw you recently with the Honorable Raila Odinga working side by side with President Museveni, engrossed in deep discussions on how to advance regional peace, enhance freedoms for Kenyans, and work for the common good of our peoples. It is only through such that the pursuit of homegrown solutions, even to the DRC crisis, will make our region an invite to all and will spur development. This serves to portray the EAC mechanism for conflict resolution in high esteem. I want to further thank you for the lead you are taking in promoting world peace by taking the mantle of stabilizing countries that are facing insecurity. It is a good move, but not all the external forces may be happy about it because you have rightly challenged the inaction. You can, however, count on EALA, the EAC, and Africa at large for support since these efforts renew your commitment to ensuring peace and security for Kenya, the region, Africa, and beyond. On your calls from reforms of the international financial institutions such as IMF and the World Bank, we are proud to be associated with you with your bold statements calling for reforms to ensure fairness, inclusively, equity, and equal opportunities for developing nations like those in our region, who continue to be impoverished and marginalized by the developed world through these institutions. The debt cycle they put us in should end so that we can generate international resources to spur growth on local industries, infrastructure, and economically empower our citizens. We in EALA, we have already adopted resolutions on promoting use of local currencies instead of the US dollar to pay for services, resolution to promote local leather industries by banning and processed hides, among others. We also associate ourselves with your stand on reforming global action on climate change and the environment and the leadership you continue to give during global summits. As has been noted, in many quarters, your words of wisdom have often been inspirational. Having said that, and before I invite Your Excellency to address the Assembly, I invite my brother, the chairperson of the East African Community Council of Ministers, to make brief remarks. I thank you all for listening to me.
I'm very short. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Right Honorable Joseph, Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, my colleagues, ministers, and members of the Council, Honorable Dr. Peter Thiuki, Secretary General of the East African Community, all honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Your Excellency, let me start by joining the Right Honorable Speaker in welcoming Your Excellency to this special sitting of the Assembly and expressing the gratitude of the Council of Ministers to you for finding time in your very busy schedule to address the Assembly. Your Excellency, I bring greetings from the Chair of the East African Head of State Summit, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, and register his commitment to a peaceful community and as demonstrated by his ongoing consultations with head of state in the region with view to ensuring a stable and peaceful region. Your Excellency, allow me to also congratulate you, Your Excellency, on the new role of champion of institutional reform which the African Union head of state have entrusted you with. This is a testament to your strong promotion and unwavering advocacy for the African voice in regional and global matters. Regional peace and security and the effective and efficient functioning of organs an institution set up to deepen and widen our African integration agenda. Your Excellency, this being the first time that the Fifth Assembly is holding its plenary session in Nairobi and in the Republic of Kenya, and also the first time since Your Excellency is addressing the Assembly, as a member of the Summit of East African Head of State, we are all keen to receive your guidance and wisdom on the direction and areas of focus for the community from your perspective. I'm pleased to inform you that in order to foster a unified economic landscape that benefits all partner states, the community continues to rely on the Assembly to enact regional laws that create a more conducive environment for increased trade and investment, through oversight to highlight any inconsistencies and gaps in the trade policies, legal and regulatory frameworks of the partner states, as we look towards the establishment of a functioning and efficient monetary union for the East African community. Furthermore, Your Excellency, I wish to confirm that the Secretary General has informed me that the Federal Republic of Somalia has formally deposited instruments of ratification with his office, and therefore the Federal Republic of Somalia is now a full member of the East African community. On this note, Your Excellency, I want to thank the Secretary General and his team for this good work done. As a Council, Your Excellency, we are looking toward the Assembly to inform policy decisions we continue to seek for prosperity for our people in order to enhance the East African community integration agenda. And where necessary, we shall make recommendations and seek the guidance of the East African Summit of the State. Your Excellency, as I conclude, we are grateful to the Summit of East African Head of State for adopting a sustainable funding model to stem the financial challenges and community has been facing largely through none or delayed remission of contributions to the budget of the community by partner states. And once again, Your Excellency, I thank Your Excellency for agreeing to address the community through this special sitting of the Fifth Assembly in Nairobi. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, before I invite you to address the Assembly, I would like to recognize in this chamber the following dignitaries. We have the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Kenya. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you. We have the Honorable Salim Muria, Cabinet Secretary for Mining and Blue Economy. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you. We have Honorable Kato Ole Metito, State House Controller. Please stand up. Thank you. We have Mr. Abdi Dubat, Principal Secretary, State Development for East Africa Affairs. Please stand up. Thank you. Oh. And we have the members of diplomatic corps, and I have to recognize that among them, I have Honorable Martin Ngoga, who was the Speaker of Yala 4. Please stand up. Thank you. Thank you. He's my mentor some way. It's him who taught me how to behave. 7, we have the former members of Yala who are present here. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you for coming. Thank you again. And I have to recognize other senior state officials of the government of Kenya who would be present here. Thank you. And I have also to recognize the member of the 4th estate who are there. Please, you should recognize them. Thank you. Your Excellency, finally, it is with a great pleasure and honor that I all execute my humble duty to welcome you to address us. You are most welcomed, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Your
Honorable
Excellency.
members,
Thank you.
you may take your seats. This podium is a bit high or something. I don't know whether we can take it down a bit. Anyway, the Honorable Joseph Ntakuri Timana, Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly. Honorable members, the Secretary General of the East African Community, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first take this opportunity on behalf of the government and people of Kenya to welcome honorable members from Yala to Nairobi, and it is my wish that you will enjoy deliberations in Nairobi and also have time to enjoy Kenya. Mr. Speaker, let me apologize because I have been away from Parliament for now more than 10 years. And I found myself doing the wrong things. Because when it was time to applause, I found myself clapping. And I know that is not the tradition in Parliament. I had to remind myself. But I am delighted to join this august assembly today to preside over the official opening of the third session of the 5th East African Legislative Assembly, and to have the honor of welcoming you back to our Parliament chambers in Nairobi after 6 years. It is immensely gratifying to note that the work of intensifying the integration of East African community has proceeded at an encouraging pace, so that while much remains to be done for us to accomplish our aspiration, the progress we have made has taken us closer to it incrementally. It is no overstatement to acknowledge the contribution of this assembly towards making this progress possible. At the beginning of this session, it is appropriate to reaffirm our collective devotion to the constitutive aspirations of our community and therefore the objectives of East African regional integration. There is no denying that our vision to be a prosperous, competitive, secure, stable, and politically united East Africa is taking shape at a higher rate than before. The ultimate aim of this noble enterprise is to transform and translate economic, political, and social, as well as cultural integration into a positive impact on the well-being of every citizen of East Africa. Our common agenda, therefore, is to set out optimal policies and strategies which unite us firmly in the singular pursuit of positive transformation in the political and economic, social and cultural, research and development, as well as technology and innovation, including defense and security, and also the legal and judicial sectors of our society. It is fair to say that much of our efforts cannot proceed, let alone succeed, without the loyal contribution and hard work of our community's legislative organs. This organ of IALA, as well as the respective parliaments. This assembly accentuates the direct linkage between common regional and specific intra-member state policies by performing the vital and simultaneous functions of embedding regional integration agenda at the heart of domestic policymaking, while also ensuring that the EAC represents, articulates, and projects the interests of member states as well as the entire collectivity of our community. Our people's journey to a prosperous, competitive, secure, stable, and politically united East Africa entails the implementation of policies and establishment of institutions under the four well-known pillars of our integration, namely a customs union, a common market, monetary union, and a political federation. The instruments and frameworks needed to bring into operation our semi-autonomous institutions delineate our areas of cooperation and attend to the pillars of integration are promulgated under the exclusive mandate of this assembly, which has demonstrated exemplary dedication to its legislative function, consensus deference to important lessons from the history of our regional integration efforts, and a vigilant commitment to deliver a robust architecture for the successful delivery of an ambitious program of action for our community. By dint of a consistent drive to implement our collective vision for integration, this assembly has enabled us to overcome the shortcomings which rendered the first East Africa community so vulnerable that it ultimately collapsed, and to make significant progress on each pillar of integration, thereby making EAC a resilient, dynamic, progressive region on the threshold of historic transformation. Our customs union is on the move, with this assembly creating legislative frameworks to establish a common external tariff, uniform customs rules and procedures, and common rules of origin. And I want to congratulate members here for being patriotic to EAC and making sure these instruments are in place. These frameworks also provide for the elimination of non-tariff barriers and the implementation of a single customs territory, one-stop border posts, as well as the facilitation of the development of regional and national trade information portals. For example, in a couple of weeks, President Museveni and I will be launching the one-stop border post in Swam, a border between Kenya and Uganda, complete with a road connecting both countries that was sourced by funding that was collectively undertaken by the government of Kenya and the government of Uganda. Similarly, the Assembly has provided the framework to conclude the COMESA EAC SADC Tripartite Free Trade Area Agreement. The signing of the agreement establishes the African Continental Free Trade Area also, and the adoption of the EAC e-commerce strategy. As you are aware, the bringing together of the tripartite agreement will bring 27 countries into one common market with a GDP of approximately $750 billion. That will make it possible for East Africa, parts of North Africa, and the whole of South Africa to trade together and to eliminate trade barriers that consistently stand in the way in our quest to enhance and expand business, trade, enterprise in our region. Consequently, the turnaround time for trucks has reduced significantly along all our transport corridors, and the clearance in time at border crossings has reduced by 84%, making trade more efficient in our region. This is why intra-EAC trade holds the highest position among trading blocs in our continent at 25%. With a combined GDP of US $350 billion, a population of approximately 350 million, and an expansive area of 5 million square kilometers, the EAC member states are an attractive investment destination. East African Community total trade in 2022 stood at US $74 billion. The same year, Africa accounted for 44% and 25% of EAC's total exports and imports, respectively. This assembly, likewise, has enabled the community implement the Common Market Protocol, which guarantees free cross-border movement of persons, labor, services, and capital, as well as the right of establishment and residence through the use of standard identification systems, harmonized travel documents, mutual recognition of qualifications, and harmonized labor and social policy frameworks. The EAC e-passport is now internationally recognized, while several member states now permit citizens to travel using the national identity cards. Visa fees for cross-border movements have mostly been eliminated, and cross-border communities now enjoy free movement. Students can enroll and transfer with greater ease. Regional institutions now implement mutual recognition agreements for various professional qualifications. To actualize the East African Monetary Union by 2031, because that's our aspiration, this assembly must provide the necessary framework to anchor the full implementation of the customs union